Welcome to this video on current affairs, based on the August 24, 2026 issue of The Hindu. Today, we will explore key policy updates and recent developments critical for UPSC preparation. This video covers 7 major topics, ranging from the MMDR Amendment Act and the Supreme Court's industry definition to core industrial growth trends, parliamentary procedures, and international relations. Our first topic examines the MMDR Amendment Act of 2026 and its significant impact on Odisha's mineral-based economy. The 2026 amendment centralizes regulatory control over mineral-bearing lands, aimed at standardizing taxation across states. This shift is expected to have notable effects on production and state revenues, particularly for mineral-rich states like Odisha. Mining activities bring both employment opportunities for tribal communities and significant challenges, including displacement. Furthermore, environmental issues like hexavalent chromium pollution in the Sukinda Valley continue to impact local health. The amendment raises broader policy questions regarding the balance between fiscal federalism, state autonomy, and the complex trade-offs between economic gain and environmental sustainability. Next, we delve into the Supreme Court's latest interpretation regarding the definition of industry and the application of the triple test. The triple test establishes that an activity is an industry if it involves systematic work, employer-employee cooperation, and the production of goods or services. Profit motive is deemed irrelevant, while only sovereign functions remain excluded. The Supreme Court has clarified that the triple test still applies to old legal cases, although it is no longer the principal standard under the newer Industrial Relations Code of 2020. This judgment provides a framework for managing retrenchment and strikes, marking a key evolution in how industrial activity and labor relations are defined in India today. Moving on to our third topic, we analyze the current growth trends within India's core industrial sectors. Growth in core industries slowed to 5.4% in July 2026, driven by weak demand. While iron ore, coal, cement, and electricity saw strong production, crude oil and gas output continued to contract. Domestic oil and gas production remains sluggish, increasing India's reliance on imports. A 13.3% rise in crude oil import volumes has led to a 41% surge in the import bill, highlighting economic vulnerability. These trends impact the broader economy. Specifically, the decline in manufacturing PMI indicates cautious business sentiment, while external energy dependence continues to pressure the trade deficit. Finally, we turn to the ongoing debate surrounding delimitation and the implementation of women's reservation in the Lok Sabha. Delimitation is constitutionally complex due to the 84th Amendment, which froze seat allocation based on population until the post-2026 census. This creates a difficult debate over balancing representative growth with protecting the political influence of states that have achieved population stabilization. Proposals to increase Lok Sabha seats to 850, using 2011 census data and a 33% women's reservation, have met with political opposition. The opposition currently favors retaining the existing 543 seats, with the implementation of the women's reservation reserved for the 2029 elections. Enacting gender-based political representation reveals significant complexities within constitutional frameworks. Crucially, the 106th Amendment mandates that the implementation of women's reservation is directly tied to the completion of the delimitation process. Next, we examine the parliamentary procedures concerning the adjournment sine die and the prorogation of Parliament. It is essential to distinguish between these terms. Adjournment merely pauses a House sitting, whereas prorogation formally ends a parliamentary session. Under Article 85(2), the President prorogues Parliament based on the advice of the Council of Ministers. A recent procedural anomaly occurred when the Lok Sabha was adjourned sine die on August 13, 2026, but the formal prorogation was delayed. Such gaps can impact the overall parliamentary schedule and the timeline for subsequent sessions. Prorogation is significant, as it impacts legislative business continuity and the dynamics between the executive and the legislature. Historical patterns show that there is considerable flexibility in managing the intervals between sessions. Moving to international relations, we now cover the ongoing boundary talks and the current state of India-China bilateral relations. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is scheduled to visit Beijing for the 25th round of talks on boundary issues. These diplomatic engagements are anticipated to include meetings with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, as both nations seek to ease border tensions. Following summits in 2024 and 2025, there have been gradual efforts to normalize relations between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi. Despite this broader cooperation, the border dispute remains the core unresolved strategic challenge. The strategic interaction between India and China is characterized by a complex balance of competition and cooperation. While tensions exist in regional security, the two nations continue to engage in multilateral forums such as BRICS and the SCO. Finally, we analyze the ongoing Iran-US conflict and the critical strategic importance of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has proposed a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. to move beyond current hostilities and address the nuclear program. This diplomatic initiative aims to resolve long-standing regional tensions and nuclear disputes. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital global energy route, connecting the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. Any conflict or blockade in this region directly threatens global energy security and shipping stability. Iran continues to face economic hardship, characterized by inflation and unemployment, compounded by U.S. sanctions. In response, new security leadership has adopted a hardline stance, frequently threatening retaliation to counter external pressure. That concludes our overview of today's current affairs and policy developments. Thank you for watching.